I've got 10 tips in the color page of Davinci Resolve that'll help you take a photo that looks like this and make it look more like this. It's a style, I know, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, but welcome back to Creator Reality, my friend. I'm John, and I also run the Road Reality channel, and we have a Discord for that. I'll leave a link below if you want to come chat about cameras and share photos with us. But Scott's Moto Adventures, a viewer of both of my channels, posted that picture, this picture right here, in the Road Reality Discord, and then he posted this picture, which is an AI's version of his original. I didn't quite like it, so I pulled the original into Davinci Resolve, and what you're about to learn is what I came up with. So let's dive into Davinci Resolve and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we have Scott's original photo, and then we have the AI version. It very clearly did a sky replacement. It also darkened it, warmed it up a little bit, but if I zoom in, it really boogered up this area. If we go back to the original, it says powered by flux capacitor. And then if I scroll down here, Scorpion Exo on the helmet, and then it's blurry there. So it got the essence of the photo right, but it changed some of the details, which may or may not be important to you. But what is important is mucking about in the color page, and I had a ton of fun with this one. So let's take Scott's original photo into the color page. And again, this will work on videos as well. So even though I'm going to be running Davinci Resolve 20 in this tutorial, I haven't updated to 21 yet. I've still heard about some fairly biggish bugs, and I'm not ready. I got too many videos in the pipeline. But if we take his photo into the color page, it brings us in here. And if you're new to Davinci Resolve or the color page, we have the gallery on the left side by default. You can hide it or show it here. There's LUTs, which are lookup tables. I have a whole video. It's up there on LUTs. And we have our media pool and our clips. We can even turn clips off here if we want. But I'm going to bring it back to gallery. This is basically the default display. You have your viewer in the middle. To its right is the node tree, and then effects on the very right-hand side. Well, you can see I've got a whole bunch of extra ones that I played with. I mean, I've got all sorts of fun stuff that we're going to do a little bit of rebuilding on. So maybe the first thing we want to do is bring up our contrast, and that's found over here in the color wheels. If you're in Camera Raw or Color Match, you're in the wrong place for this. We want the primaries color bars. You can do HDR stuff, but I find that takes a little bit more effort to get the results I'm after. I totally get that there's a use for them. We're just going to concentrate on the color bars primaries window today. So let's start with the contrast. We'll just drag that up, and already that's adding a little bit of pop to it. If I double click this text here, it'll recenter it at 1.0. That's the normal contrast. But we have temp over here. We can make it look cooler, like a winter day, by dragging to the left in the blue area. If you drag to the right, you make it warmer, which is going to be more orangey. And if you press Z, zoom to fit, which I should have done 2 minutes ago, it'll look even better because it'll take up the whole viewer. But let's double click on temp, bring that back. One of the other things you can do is mess with this mid detail. So if we drag it all the way up, you see the fine details here start to pop out. If we drag it all the way down, you see everything gets a soft look to it. So double click to recenter it. Then you have lift, gamma, gain, and offset. And you can drag each of these individually to add a specific color tone to it. Like if you wanted something that looked vintage or an old Polaroid, that's what you do. Add red, some green, and some blue, call it good. But I'll click the reset window, or reset button here rather. Or to adjust all of them at once, you can grab this slider and it'll brighten and darken certain parts of the image. And I'm not going to go into the details on what all 4 of these do, except they all work a little bit differently and you're going to need them at one point or another. So it's a handy tool to have in your toolbox. Down on the bottom we have color boost. So you can make it really look Instagrammy. I don't like color boost generally. And a little dab will do you. So if I just add a little bit, it's kind of making the colors pop a little bit. But there's a better way to do this, I think. So I'm going to double click to reset that. Shadows. We bring it down, we bring it up. You can see that it's affecting the whole image. And we'll get into masking in just a moment. But the shadows are really helpful. And then highlights are really helpful too. So we can really blow out that sky and bring it back if we want. So that's actually not bad, except the sky's blown out, and I don't like that. So we'll double click and get rid of that. Sat is saturation. bring it all the way to 0 for black and white, and then punch those colors up, sort of like Color Boost, by bringing it to 100. Again, I'll double click it, get rid of it. Hue changes the whole hue of the image. Not really useful for what we're doing here. So we'll double click. We're now reset. If you notice your node here has no icons on it, that means there's no grade done to that node. Now, if I make a change, like I bump up the saturation, you'll see that an icon appears here, and it's 3 bar graphs. That's indicating the primary color bars window. Something's been changed. We'll double click to center that. So now that we understand some of those basics, it's time to combine them, because that's the true essence of color grading, is it not? Boop the like button, for you are learning things today. Don't know why I said it that way, but we're moving on. So we've got our node, and if we want an extra node, Alt-S to create a serial node after this one, and then if you notice I've got node 2 selected, Shift-S will create one before. So now we've got 3 nodes, look at that. Now we can Control-Z to undo all that and get back to one node where I want to bump up the contrast to about 1.3. That's pretty cool. We want to bring up the mid details a little bit, bring down our shadows quite a bit. We're already seeing a lot of life being put into this image. We can bump up our saturation. We'll make it warmer. Maybe not that warm. That's good. Now, this sky is just not good, so we need to Alt-S to create a serial node, and I'm going to use Magic Mask, but later on I'll show you some free masking tools that are really helpful. And in here, I'm going to click Better, and then I'm going to just put a whole bunch of dots across the sky, and then click on my Toggle Overlay button, and you'll see that it didn't get the top of the Ferris wheel, or that ride, or we'll just add a whole bunch of dots on these rides until it mostly fills them in. There we go. Now we can track this back and forth, and once that's done, we'll toggle the overlay off. Now we can bring down our shadows, and it's only going to affect the sky. See that? It's only affecting the sky. We'll bring the shadows all the way down, bring our highlights down a little bit, bump up our saturation again. We'll give it a little bit more contrast. We'll leave tint alone for now. We can add a little bit more detail, and then we're going to play with the denoise here. So I'm going to click on denoise and drag, and you'll see that it's changing the area right above the buildings. So it's kind of giving a little bit of a halo effect. There we go. That's about what I wanted. That looks all well and good, but what if we want to make more changes? Well, check this out. We can right-click in blank space, choose Add Node, and choose Corrector. That gives us another corrector node, just like these. Then you can drag from this green circle to the green triangle input, and it creates another pathway, really, which we'll join up in just a minute by right-clicking and choosing Add Node and Layer Mixer. Then, from the output of Layer Mixer to our green output dot, you'll notice that it went back to normal. Fine, don't worry. This Layer Mixer replaced the output from node 3. Now, the output of node 3 we can put into the bottom layer, or the bottom input, of our layer mixer, looking pretty sharp. Then we can connect the output of node 2 to the top one. It doesn't look as good. Well, let's right click on our layer mixer and choose composite mode, and we got all the same composite modes. I'm going to choose multiply. Ta-da! We're getting somewhere, but we need more life in this image. That's why we created this layer right here, this node corrector, where I'm going to, again, bump up the contrast, drop the shadows, warm it up a little bit. Okay, but that's doing a little bit too much to the top, and we can blend in that top with a free Davinci Resolve tool, which is over here in the power windows. Click Gradient. Oop, we already saw it made changes, and you got this nifty overlay. This line shows you what angle the gradient's going to be on. The circle lets you click and drag to change the placement. And then when you hover over the arrow, you get this circle recycle icon. Well, if you click and drag, it lets you change the length or smoothness of the gradient as well as the angle. So I'm going to line it up with the horizon, give it a nice long angle. There we go. And then we could bump up our contrast a little bit more. Looks pretty good, but the bottom half doesn't look too great yet. Let's click on node 2, Alt-S to create another serial node. It goes in line between node 2 and the layer mixer. And in this one, we want another gradient. So we're going to create another gradient, and I want to keep my sun out of it. So imagine this line. It's going to go past the sun, We'll make it a little bit longer. Then what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to drop our shadows a little bit to give that nice dark corner there. We're going to bump up our saturation. In fact, we'll go back to node 2 and bump the saturation. We can go to node 1, bump our saturation a little bit more, and then back to 4. You can go back and make all these little tweaks. So now this image looks pretty good, but we can make a couple of more tweaks to it. First one is we're going to click on our layer mixer, right click. We can change our composite mode to overlay, which really blows out the highlights. There's just a really weird oddity with Davinci Resolve and how the magic mask works. So with our magic mask node selected, I'm going to hold Alt S to create a serial node, and you'll see that that mostly fixed everything, except when I connect the output of our magic mask node to the alpha input of our new node. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And then it's got this little icon on it. So for some reason, I don't know why Resolve does this. We're going to right click, reset node grade, and boom, look at that. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So now we can go ahead and make sure everything's the way we want. We can play with the color temp a little bit. And again, you can go back through all these nodes and continue making tweaks to your heart's content. I'm going to go ahead and bring my shadows and highlights down on this one to darken that corner quite a bit. Bump our saturation up even further. And then we can go back to this one and we can do the same thing. Bring our highlights down a little bit to darken that sky. Bring our saturation up a little bit. Maybe change the angle and length of this slightly. And we're done. We went from this to this using some pretty simple color page techniques. What do you think? Is it an improvement? Did we do better than AI? This is what the AI looks like, just a reminder. And this is what our final image looks like. I think we did pretty good. I hope you learned a lot. I thank you for watching today. I do appreciate your time. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, all the YouTuber stuff, and I'll see you in the next video, which coincidentally is this one over here. It's one of mine. You'll learn something else about Resolve. Until then, John out.